Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Joan Vassos weighs in on Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist divorce. It seems everyone has something to say about Bachelor Nation's Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist divorcing after 3 months of marriage. But one important voice fans have yet to hear from is Joan Vassos. She was a contestant on The Golden Bachelor and has now been named the Golden Bachelorette. Does she worry the divorce puts more pressure on her season to be a success? Joan Vassos was among Golden Bachelor alums at Golden Wedding. Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist's televised Golden Wedding had a guest list dominated by Bachelor Nation stars. Several of the rejected women from The Golden Bachelor were in attendance. Susan Knowles even officiated the nuptials. Joan Vassos was among the guests. She joined Charity Lawson and Kathy Swartz on the red carpet to interview other attendees. Theresa Nist and Gerry Turner sent shockwaves through the franchise and the television industry in April 2024 when they suddenly announced they had made the decision to divorce. Gerry Turner filed the official paperwork that same day, hours after their interview aired on Good Morning America. At the time, they blamed the split on neither being willing to uproot their lives, leave their families behind, and move to another location. New Golden Bachelorette weighs in on Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist divorce. Many of Gerry Turner's contestants were in the running to be the first ever Golden Bachelorette. However, ABC announced on Tuesday, May 14, that Joan Vassos had been chosen for the role. In fact, her season is already filming and will air this fall. She barely got to know Gerry as a contestant on the dating show. Joan chose to leave the show after just a few episodes due to a family emergency. It seems the network thought the widow deserved another chance at finding love after leaving the show early. Joan Vassos, 61, spoke to CNN after news of her new gig broke. She was asked her thoughts on Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist's sudden divorce. The Golden Bachelor alum said she was surprised by the news. "I saw them fall in love," she said. "I believed, just like they did, that they were the perfect couple." She praised them for their willingness to jump into this process with both feet. Would she do the same thing if she fell in love and married one of her Golden Bachelorette suitors? Possibly. She certainly thought Gerry and Theresa made the right call. "I also applaud them that when they discovered it wasn't perfect, that they called it quits, and it's not the end of the world," she told CNN. Joan added, "We have to let them live their journey and follow their hearts, and it wasn't right for them, so they split up." Joan Vassos, the poised and gracious woman set to become America's first Golden Bachelorette, has always approached matters of the heart with a mix of realism and hope. But when news of Golden Bachelor Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist's divorce broke just months after their televised forever began, Joan didn't stay silent. With her own journey for love just beginning, the timing of their split hit a little too close to home. "I wasn't shocked," Joan confessed in a candid, emotional interview filmed just days after the announcement. "But I was deeply saddened. It's never easy watching something that seemed so magical unravel, especially when the entire country was rooting for them." Fans have been captivated by Gerry and Theresa's whirlwind romance. After all, they were the pioneers, the first golden couple to prove that love after 60 could be just as thrilling and full of butterflies as love at 26. Their televised wedding was a sparkling spectacle of second chances. But behind the curtain of roses and champagne toasts, reality quietly crept in. Joan, with her signature grace, admitted she noticed subtle signs long before the public did. "I remember watching them during the reunion and thinking, something's off. Their chemistry had shifted," she said. "There's a difference between loving someone and being able to live a life together. That's the part people underestimate." While she remains respectful of their journey, Joan also sees their divorce as a cautionary tale, not just for herself, but for everyone entering relationships later in life. "It's a beautiful thing to fall in love again," she mused, "but our lives are complex by this stage. We have families, routines, even homes we've lived in for decades. You're not just falling in love with the person, you're falling into their whole world, and that world isn't easy to adjust to. Joan revealed she had spoken briefly with Theresa following the news. She's heartbroken, of course, but she's also strong. I think people forget that Theresa is more than someone's wife or widow. She's a woman with her own dreams. She deserves peace. And what about Gerry? Joan's tone softened. He means well. I believe he truly wanted it to work, but I think he might have confused hope with compatibility. When you're lonely, it's easy to rush into something that feels like home. But despite the failed fairy tale, Joan refuses to be jaded. If anything, it's made her more determined to find something real on the Golden Bachelorette. I've had loss. I've had heartbreak. I know what it's like to feel like your best years are behind you. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's never too late to want love again. Just because it didn't work for them doesn't mean it won't work for me. Their story reminds me that I need to go slow, ask the hard questions, and never settle for anything less than emotional safety. She paused, her eyes thoughtful. I want passion, sure, but more than that, I want peace. I want someone who adds to my life, not someone I have to compromise everything for. As the cameras roll on her historic season, Joan is drawing boundaries, setting intentions, and leaning into vulnerability. She's not afraid to admit that Gerry and Theresa's divorce shook her, because it reminded her that love at any age must be rooted in authenticity, not just optimism. I know there's pressure, she said with a gentle laugh. People want another golden love story, but I'm not here to perform. I'm here to find my person. If that happens, wonderful. If it doesn't, I'll walk away with clarity, and that's a gift too. Still, she remains hopeful that the public doesn't view the divorce as proof that love after 60 is doomed. I hate the narrative that their split somehow invalidates the idea of senior romance. We are still vibrant, still capable of deep, meaningful love. Gerry and Theresa's love was real. It just wasn't sustainable. That's not failure, that's human. Joan said she's already received hundreds of letters from women across the country, widows, divorcees, women who had given up on love, thanking her for stepping into the spotlight. They tell me I've given them courage. That makes it all worth it. As for whether she would ever invite Gerry back into her life, Joan smiled knowingly. We had our moment, and it passed. I wish him well, but I'm focused on what's ahead. My heart is open, but it's also wise. She added, if my journey ends in love, I hope it's the kind of love that doesn't fade when the cameras stop rolling. A quiet love, one built on shared coffee, inside jokes, and holding hands in the middle of a storm. Her final words? A message not only for Bachelor Nation, but for anyone still daring to believe in late-in-life love. Don't let one failed story close your heart. We're not too old. We're just beginning a different chapter. And sometimes the later chapters, they're the most beautiful of all. Joan Vassos may not have found her golden ending just yet, but if strength, grace, and insight are any indication, she's writing a love story of her own, one deliberate step at a time. Would you like a follow-up piece previewing Joan's first episode as the Golden Bachelorette?